part of our lesson on Pythagorean Theorem, and this video will be on word problem. So let's get started. So part 3 reads, to get from point A to point B, you must avoid walking through a pond. To avoid the pond, you must walk 34 meters south and 41 meters east. To the nearest meter, how many meters will be saved? Okay, how many meters will be saved if it were possible to walk through the pond? So first of all, we're going to start with a little sketch. And again, you don't have to be an artist with this. So let's just say this is a pond. Now it kind of looks like a cloud, but that's okay. And our direction here, if you need the compass, so north, south, west, east. There we go. So obviously I don't want to walk through the pond. So we will have to go 34 meters south. So let's start with that one. So we'll go, let's say we start here. We walk 34 meters. Make sure you keep your units south. So south is going downward, and 41 meter east. So at this point, we can actually safely go to the right direction, which is 41 meters east. Okay, there you go. That's south and that's east. So to the nearest meter, how many meters will be saved if it were possible to walk through the pond? Let's say we can actually walk through the pond. So now we are going from this direction right here to this point down here. So let's say we cut through the pond, and so what is the length here? Which actually, if you look at it, it's actually just our hypotenuse for the letter C. So we can go ahead and confidently figure out what letter C is, and let's actually use our handy-dandy formula for Pythagorean Theorem, which is, as always, a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. And again, we're going to plug it in. So we're going to let 34 be the letter A, as they're both lakes, right? And 41 meters for B. And we have to simply find our answer for C. So you can also use your calculator here. 34 square. If you punch on your calculator, it is 1156. You can also, if you are a master of calculators, you can actually just punch that all into one go and be able to find the letter C after you take the square root. So that combined together, which gives us 2837 equal to C squared. And again, to undo the C square, we have to square root both sides. So let me just use our calculator. Square root of 2837, which gives us 53.26 equals to the letter C. Now this is actually your units for, actually it is meters, so make sure to keep your units in. So we know that C is roughly about 53.26. Now you may be wondering, shouldn't we round this? Well, you know what? This is actually not the final answer. We will round it once we have the final answer. The reason why I'm saying this is not the final answer here is because it's asking how much we can be saved if it's possible to walk through the pond. Now, we do have our distance across the pond, which is 53.26 meters. So how much distance is saved is actually the combination of 34 and 41, but that combination of that is the total distance from here all the way down to there. Okay, so we have to actually take away 53.26. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so again, we have to add up. So your final answer is, make sure we have to add up 34 meters plus 41 meters. This is the total distance that we would have walked to not, get our shoes dirty. So this is a longer route, right? Right, because we don't want to cut through the pond. So again, this is your pond here. And because that is our answer, we're going to take away. So we're going to subtract. Okay, we're going to subtract what we got, which was 53.26 meters. All right, this is the shortcut, which was also the letter C. Okay, so once we do that, we'll take away, which is about 21.74 meters, which if you want to round this to the nearest meter, as given the question, will be 22 meters. Okay, and as a rule of thumb, I always tell my students to please do not round too early, because if that was not your final answer, again, just leave it as is, because if you round it too early, you might run into risk of an inaccurate final answer. All right, so instead of rounding it to 53, I would have just kept it at 53.26. In fact, I would probably even kept going and just add some more decimals after that, and then use that whole decimal and put that into the equation, and then you will be able to find that a more accurate final answer, which is 22 meters. All right, again, you can also check, since we got into habit of checking, but the thing with this interactive tool from GeoGebra, which I mentioned in the previous lesson, is that it only goes up to 12, as you can see. So this might not be a good idea to check, but I feel like decimals might have a few interactive tools there. So I will show you after in our next lesson. So there you go. So the final answer, the question is how many meters will be saved if it were possible to walk through the pond? Our answer will be we'll save 22 meters. Have a good day, guys.